In 2014, Tinubu blamed Jonathan for Xtian death. Now, President, he told Governor Muftuan to take responsibility. Now, so dey be o. When he was doing his own, he did not know that this same thing will happen to him when he's the president. Now, he's telling somebody to take responsibility. You, when Jonathan was there, you were complaining, tweeting, and Jonathan should step down. Jonathan should stop Boko Haram. You too now, come and stop Boko Haram. You are telling somebody to take responsibility. Really? Now, so dey be. In January 2014, President Bola Tinubu criticized former President Goodluck Jonathan for the killing of Christian worshippers in the Northeast, saying it was his duty to protect Nigerians. He criticized former President Goodluck Jonathan for killing of Christians or worshippers in the Northeast, saying it was his duty to protect Nigerians. Now, it is not his own duty. It is the governor of Plateau State that should take charge of whatever is going on in his own state. That man is very funny. Tinubu back then said that not being able to protect the Christian worshippers who were killed in Borno and Adamawa states suggested the incompetence of the president at such a time. That means he too is an incompetent president as well. Very incompetent. Very, very. The slaughtering of Christian worshippers, that was how he tweeted it in 2014. That was the tweet that, what was it called, Macaroni, he retweeted it. The slaughtering of Christian worshippers is strongly condemnable. It calls into question the competence of Jonathan to protect Nigerians, he wrote in 2014. However, 11 years later, Tinubu is now urging Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State to resolve the recent killing rocking in the state. How is he going to do it? When it was happening during Jonathan's time, why didn't you call on the governor of Borno State to solve the issue in his state? Why were you calling on Jonathan, saying that he was an incompetent governor and president? You don't call now. Now it's your turn. Emido come. You're an incompetent governor. Very incompetent. Dumping the responsibility on Muftuang's lap, Tinubu said the governor should resolve underlying communal issues to tackle the crisis. He added that while the federal government would support the governor in promoting peace in the state, Muftuang must first stop the retaliatory attacks. How? Are they retaliating? They've not even started retaliating. I have instructed security agencies to thoroughly investigate this crisis and identify those responsible for orchestrating these violent acts. We cannot allow this devastation and the tit-for-tat attacks to continue. Enough is enough, Tinubu said. When did he say this one? Beyond dealing with the criminal element of this incessant killing, the political leadership in Plateau State, led by Governor Caleb Mutfwang, must address the root cause of this age-long problem. President, it is you that will address it, though. You are the one that will address it. You are the one that will address it because when Jonathan was there, you were calling on him to address the issues in Borno State. Why didn't you call the governor of Borno State to address it? Can you imagine this man? The problem has been with us for more than 2 decades. We can no longer ignore the underlying issues. It is time to tackle them fairly and find a lasting solution. It is you that should tackle it, Mr. President. I have discussed these problems with the governor over time and offered suggestions for lasting peace. What was your suggestion? And if the governor is not now listening to you, why can you not declare a state of emergency in Plateau State? Because the same thing happened in Rivers State. You said you've called on Fubara and Wike to resolve the issue between them, but they are not resolving it. So because of that, you did not have a choice but to declare a state of emergency and then suspend him as well. So why are you not taking that same step in the case of Plateau State? You've called him over time and offered him suggestion. Can you imagine? The federal government remains committed to supporting Governor Mutfwang and the Plateau State government in promoting dialogue, fostering social cohesion, and ensuring accountability, crucial steps towards permanently resolving the conflict in Plateau. Meanwhile, this is not the first time comments of Tinubu criticizing opposition for the challenges his administration has been unable to resolve are surfaced. In April 2014, the Tinubu said that the job of securing the citizens of Nigeria rests with the president, who must stop the activities of Boko Haram terrorists. He also tweeted in April 2014, he also demanded that Jonathan be queried for the deaths in Yanya and Abuja. So, are they not going to query you too? Are they not going to query you too? See him, he wrote, "My heart bleeds for our people and the country over the death in Yanya. A government unable to protect its citizens deserves to be queried," he said. So, we are supposed to be querying you too, Mr. President. They are supposed to be querying you too, Mr. President. Can you imagine? He also wrote one, he wrote, on matters of security, the buck stops at the president's table. And then you're now pushing this one to Governor Mustwang. Can you imagine? The incompetence is smelling. It is oozing out. It says like in other country, Jonathan is the chief security officer. Stop Boko Haram. Mr. President, so you are the chief security officer of Nigeria. Stop Boko Haram. There's another group that just came out now. Muwada, what did they call it? That just came out. Stop them. Mr. President, it stops at your table. You are the one that should do something about it. On Monday, about 50 Christians were killed by gunmen who attacked Zike and Kappa community in Basa local government area, Plateau. The gunmen stormed the communities at midnight on Monday, shooting at residents and setting their homes on fire. Residents of the community told the media that the attack from the invaders lasted 1 hour, with many people sustaining injuries. Some of them said they were on patrol in another community when the attackers invaded the village and started to shoot. Security personnel were unable to repel the attackers as dozens of residents were killed by bullets. The killings in Basa came barely 2 weeks after 52 persons were killed in Rubi, Mango, Dafo, Manguna, Hoti, and Tadai communities of Boko's LG in Plateau. Since Tinubu became president in 2023, at least 450 Christians have been killed in a series of targeted attacks on their home communities in Plateau, Benue, and Nasarawa states. It is well. Ali Demosi says, once insecurity in the country exceeds 7 days, then the hands of powerful politicians in government are sponsoring that insecurity. It's high time the federal government takes a stern stand on these people. They know the sponsors, and keeping quiet because of political affiliation, of course. They know the sponsors. Who knows if they are even the ones that are sponsoring it? Anything can happen in this country. Ibrahim Charles says there is a difference between a scammer and a real president now, so because now you are pushing it to the governor of Plateau State. Meanwhile, when it was happening during Jonathan's time, you were calling him out. He's the CSO. He should do this. He should take care of his country. Now it's your turn. You cannot do that. Olufemi says he's a coward, a big one. A big one, a very big one. That is why everyone must make sure he's voted out of that seat. I'm telling you, he's a big coward. If he's saying this now, he forgot that Twitter keeps things. Like, you can't delete something on Twitter. Twitter will always remind you. Victor Anderson says, what goes around comes around. Don't critique what you cannot change. Now is his turn. He should also change it. He should also fix the country. He cannot fix it. Onachiko says, split this country. There is nothing like one Nigeria. I rest my case. And this is over to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.